Just going to do some sound while we're waiting. This is the crown chakra. Hi. Just getting some frequency regulation. Hey, it's Claire, your intuitive reader. Let's see what's going on today. I haven't been live very often lately. I've been going through a lot of stuff. Things have been crazy. How are you today? How is everyone? It's raining here, which I'm actually grateful for. So we need the rain here in California. How is everyone? Okay, so what I'm going to start by doing is, maybe this will stay nice and small today, and we can just have an intimate meeting. Wouldn't mind that. So I love this. Oh my gosh, this is great energy for the collective. The collective is getting the 8 of Swords, and this is about kind of information and hi, I'm doing good. It's nice to see you. So this is about the 8 of Wands. I'm sorry, the 8 of Swords. And this is very interesting because we just had a full moon. I think it was yesterday. And this is about the unseen. This is about knowing that there's information, but we can't put our fingers on it. It's that unseen belief and believing in it, being pulled by that, being guided by that. And then the 8, which is strength, which, see, it's very interesting, these two images. It's showing that we are trusting in information, in our intuition that we can't necessarily see. We can't prove it exists. We can't say like, oh yes, here's my intuition, it's correct because of this, this, and this. We have to trust in that. We have to be guided by that intuition. And you guys are doing that, and it's creating, you're using your strength of conviction. You don't care if people are telling you that, you know, there's no proof of that. You don't need proof. You have your intuition, and that's giving you more strength. It's kind of feeding into an infinite supply. It's really great energy. What's been going on in the world that I live in has been pretty crazy. Hi. Okay, so would you like I don't see anybody that's on the list that had a question. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do is put your question in the chat, and then we'll talk, and I'll see what I get for your energy. So if you have a specific question, that would be great. Radhika, general, please. Okay, so let's get your reading. I am really bad with spelling. I have really bad dyslexia, so I'm not going to butcher anyone's name. It says, it looks like Mariana or Mariana, something like that. I don't want to wreck your name. So I'm going to see what your information comes up with. So let's keep an eye on these two cards. They might come up further down in the reading for people. Okay. General reading. I'm going to use this black and white deck. Oh, Radhika, you just asked a question. Could you put it in the chat? Because I was not able, as soon as I go live, I have no access to the comments. The King of Swords. This is really great because this is, I've been getting a lot about crows and other birds like that, ravens. They're giving us messages. They are bringing us information that we have asked for. And this information is something that we wanted a direct answer for. So what I'm seeing here is you're asking for a general reading, but you asked a very specific question. You wanted to be guided in a certain direction, and you're getting that from signs and synchronicities. There's things in your life that are telling you directly what you've been wondering about. You just have to solidify the question within yourself, because we ask very broad questions and the universe has a really hard time addressing those. Oh, thank you, Speak So Well. I really appreciate it. So how are you guys? This is kind of nice. We only have like 5 people in here, and I kind of like that because then we can get a little more energy to you guys. Okay, reading about my relation. Ooh, wow. Just a whole bunch of cards just popped out. Wow, you got the Ace of Wands, the 10 of Wands, and the 7 of Wands. So you're getting some kind of resistance. And what I see here is you want an answer to something. You want to go in a certain direction. It's a pretty major thing. Like, look at how large this sword is. But you're continuously looking down at the question, and you're not observing the signs that are coming in. I get a feeling that you've actually gotten a very clear sign, but you're feeling a little defensive and you have your head down. You're working really hard, but it's bringing in this new wand. So my suggestion is sit down, meditate, really clarify the question you have in any area, whether it's career, love, personal life, and then really get down to the nitty gritty. Like, what exactly do you want to know? What direction do you want to go in? You have to make some decisions to clarify your question, to get it very sharp and precise, because that's what the King of Swords is about: precision. There's no emotion. It's very analytical. When you look up from that, when you've got it solidified, you will start seeing that the signs of the answer are right there. You have to be willing to not doubt. You have to not be defensive, and you have to put down some of the burden. See, the cat right here is tripping this person because they are focused looking down and in front of them instead of around them. They haven't put down the burden. And so they're getting tripped up by their intuition, by signs and synchronicities. And they're missing that this wand is trying to grow. This is a new idea, a new way of going, but it has to start by putting things down, not being defensive, and looking around and acknowledging that the signs and synchronicities you're getting, you asked for, and you're doubting them. You're doubting your own you're doubting your own answers. Hi, Cristobal. So I don't know if that helps, but it's really about honing in on what you want and not being emotional about it. Like, if you were doing a job interview, you would be like, oh no, I want this and I want that. And you would finite that. But people don't do that with personal relationships or relationships with their families. So this energy is asking you to do that. Like, you have the answers, but you have to ask the right question to get the answers so that you can understand them. Okay. Let's see. Yep, and then I split the deck again. It's the same Ace of Wands. So this is very clear. There's something being offered to you, like kind of like if you were doing a relay race. And you have to be looking around and be ready to grab the baton. But you're at this point, you're just focused on like other things. So you've got to really hone your attention. Okay. So let's see, Radhika. I think you are the other person here. And so I'm going to, your information is what's coming up. Let's see. You asked, reading about my relationship with my SP. Okay. Hi, Liana. Hi, Cristobal. Okay, let's see. Radhika, relationship with your... So how is everybody? I've missed all of you guys so much. I was getting so many downloads about what was going to happen. I live in the United States, and on the 12th of January, I just got flooded with all the stuff that was about to happen. And I was like, whoa, I just don't even know how to convey this to people without freaking them out. So I was kind of instructed to take a back seat, just give a few readings that were like, hey, here's a warning, get ready. And I couldn't really share with the level of stuff that I was getting because it would have been kind of more scary and there was nothing anyone could do about it. And so I just tried to give some warnings. Okay, so Radhika, oh, okay. The Two of Pentacles. So this is about balance. This is about balance within a choice. So let's see. Oh, the sun is peeking out a little bit. And the Six of Swords. And the Six of Swords is about moving into calmer waters, moving away from drama, moving away from turbulence, moving away from anything that isn't just smooth, isn't just clear. You know, it's the swords are all about thoughts and you know, being very clear and like a blade cutting through something. And so what I see here is as long as you stay in a balanced energy, as long as you're focusing on keeping yourself balanced, that's going to help you attract a relationship that is very calm. Like, you know, when we're not in balance, we attract turbulence. We attract the storm. It's like, oh, you know, haven't you heard that ironic thing? It's just like, oh, now, you know, all this is going on and now it's pouring on my. It's because we were attracting that. We were feeling turbulent. We were feeling upset. And so then within us, that frequency was attracted to another frequency that was like, I resonate with that. And you don't want to attract that. So making sure that you are very balanced, that your energy is grounded, that you are okay within yourself before you go into any relationship, even if you're already in a relationship, each day going, is my energy balanced? Because if your energy isn't balanced when you're interacting with anyone, you know, somebody at the grocery store, somebody in your car, they're going to be drawn to it. It's like a magnet. So I see that as long as you do that, you're going to have infinite strength. And we were talking about this at the beginning. See, here's the strength card with the infinity sign, and here is it in your reading. And so this is showing that you have the strength, but the strength is within you, and you have to hone that. You have to always make sure that you are your best in your best place when you're interacting with people, especially when you're going into relationships. It's vital. I don't think people realize how important it is. Okay. How's everybody doing? I'm just looking at, this is kind of nice. I haven't been back in so long, and there's like hardly anybody. The people that are here I kind of know, so it's great. So then you got the Nine of Cups, so you're gonna have a lot of options. So doing this work may feel like a lot. It may mean, you know, like you start talking to someone or you run into someone and you just immediately feel like there's a red flag. And instead of going, you know what, maybe it'll get better, you're like, no, that doesn't resonate with me. It was nice to meet you. This isn't going any further. And you move on. And that's extremely, knowing that you have all these options is going to create that balance, because you're going to go into any dating situation. Oh, my whistled. And be like, I have plenty of options. I don't need to attract red flags, because attracting red flags, they only get worse. Like something small at the beginning, the person doesn't tip. The person is rude to the wait staff. The person, you know, doesn't walk you to your car. These are huge red flags, because just think about what it's going to be like in or 6 months. Sorry, it's getting a little bright in here. Just think about what that's going to be like. It's going to grow exponentially. So anything that you're not happy about currently in a dating situation, yeah, I mean, I don't mean like, okay, hey, they don't know how to dress. You know, are they open to changing the way they dress? Like, hey, you know, you look so nice. Imagine, you know, wearing this, you would look great in this. And if they are very resistant to doing that, they're not your kind of person. Okay, let's see. I don't know if that was helpful, but are any of the people that signed up here? If not, I'm just going to go through you guys, because there's not a lot of people here and it's kind of nice. Hi, Rainbow Iris. Let's see, who was here? This is great. Okay, Cristobal, do you have a question? Let's see. Sup, I love that. If you have a question, if anybody has a question that's here, please put it in the down in the comments, and I will, focus in on your question, and then we can get there. So how is everybody doing on this Thursday? Okay. Anybody have a question? Okay. Leona, let's see. You asked any general message would be cool. I don't know how it works. So you think of something that you want, like a direct question that you want answered. It's like, let's see, what would I ask? That's a good question. I'm horrible at asking questions, so I'm asking you guys to do a lot. Let's see. So I'm going to do a general and see what comes out. You have one? Okay. Speak so well. What is your question? You do too? Okay. Yeah. Put your questions in the comments. The longer they're there, and then I'll see them, and then somebody in the comments might have some information for you too. Like, we're attracting people like ourselves. So you're attracted here because I'm getting messages, but someone in the comments might actually have the answer to your question because they might have been drawn to be here, to be there for you. Channel messages are better. You like channeled messages? Okay. I'll see what I get for you, Leona. I do like channeling messages. It is pretty fun. Okay, what I get from you is you're kind of feeling in a place of feeling like that you don't have enough physical abundance in your life. You're feeling deprivation of some sort. You're feeling like kind of out in the cold. There's this feeling of being outside of a foundational institution, a foundational group in your life. And this is making you feel like you are a good person. You want to help people, but the light, the warmth, the support is being pulled away from you. But what I want you to remember is that you are the strong person. You are a person that people are drawn to. And so as long as you keep your resonance very high, as long as you keep your energy very high and you follow the light within yourself, and always choose that. It's a hard choice to make. People are going to be drawn to you. So you will never be alone. You will never be outside of anything, because as long as you keep your frequency really high, as long as you keep your energy level really high, I don't mean like manic. I mean, very, making good choices for the highest good of those around you. You're always going to be a part of something because people are always going to be drawn to you. And this is going to lead you to the Fool's Journey, because the Fool's Journey is all about, it's kind of like a baby bird. And the baby bird thinks it will die if it goes outside of the nest, but it's growing so big it doesn't fit within the nest. So the mother, who is God, our divine creator, your spirit guides are like, okay, it's time to go. You can actually fly. But you don't believe that. You're feeling afraid of that, because what will happen? You feel like you will fall. You feel like you will have nothing if you trust in the fact that there is something beyond your limitations. And so you've got to believe in yourself. You have a lot of wisdom. See these antlers? They don't grow overnight. They grow from honing your intelligence. They're from the crown chakra. That means experience. That means intelligence. And so you are being asked to tap into that. Never forget that. Always be that guiding light. And you will never fall if you follow that truth. If you have faith. The Fool is number 0. So you have to have faith that things will work out the way they are, as long as you follow your wisdom, as long as you follow your light. So that was more of a channeled message. If you guys want me to do that, I have no problem doing that. I like telling your stories. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad. I love being asked to just be like, okay, go for it, do it. Because people, having that faith and believing it's something you can't see, like with the beginning cards we got, is a strength. It's having faith and faith is hard. Faith takes unwielding no matter what. Like you get slammed in the face and it questions your faith, and you question back, and you still have faith. You still have faith that you are on the right path, even when it gets hard. That's actually the sign to you guys that you're moving in the right direction. The harder it gets, that means you're getting closer to the essence of the path you're on. Okay, so let's see. Rainbow eye. Okay. Did you ask a question, Speak So Well? What do you see for me, my upcoming interview? Okay, Speak So Well, let's see. Let's see what I see for your upcoming interview. I'm going to use the Pulp Fiction deck. I mean, the Pulp, not fiction, the Pulp Tarot deck. Ooh, the Lovers. Okay. The Sun and Judgment. Let me just check. Oh, okay. The Hanged Man. Wow. You got 4 major arcana. You got 4. That's very unheard of. So the first card you got is the Lovers card. And what's interesting about the Lovers card here is the Lovers are actually scared of this fairy thing that's coming in. And it's holding up the apple of truth. And the snake is actually going against the fairy, the angel. And so this is a very interesting thing of make sure that you are not ignoring the truth of what you love. It has to have this job interview, whatever job you're going for, has to have a level of passion to it. It has to be something that your convictions are rooted within. You won't be happy if not. You'll be doing it for other reasons, and you won't feel driven and drawn to this. It will be like a resistance. There will be a constant resistance. So it has to be something you love. So you have to be very, you have to bring every aspect of this job to light, like what it's triggering within you. I get a lot of red energy, which is root energy. Too much talking. You have to look at it like with no shadow, no very analytical, like you were. So like I was talking about the root energy, this is something, your job has to be something that fundamentally connects with you, that gives you purpose. And if it doesn't, if you look at it clearly under the light, giving everything equal light and visibility, and analyze it, you'll know deep within yourself whether it resonates with you or not. Maybe the reason there's nerves when we get a lot of going into job interviews is because we're like, I don't know if I really, really want this. And we're not thinking about like, oh, yay, this is exciting. I can't wait to have this happen. I already have this job. Thinking about that in that way, a job interview, like, or a relationship, if you truly want it, if it really resonates with you, you're going to already see yourself there. You're going to feel it. I want you to feel that like energy of like, I'm there, I'm doing this. This is what, I'm looking forward to. I'm already there. And you're changing your perspective. You're really using clear judgment on everything. Things are coming up from the past, because job interviews are about introspection. They're about looking within ourselves and seeing what skills we or areas that we don't. So instead of focusing on the areas, the insecurities, you're changing your perspective. And here's some more red energy, lots of red. So where does this sit? Where do you feel it within your chakras? Oh, and my nose is now tickling. So that seems to be the kernel, the right on the nose. Like you have to, how are you feeling about this? Where are you feeling it in your body? See, yeah, so you're not feeling like, yay, if I get this, it's going to be great. So you're going within yourself. Here's another major arcana, the Hermit. Going within yourself, introspecting, like spend some time. What do you truly want? Envision it, feel it, and imagine you're already there. You're already in the job that you want. And here's another, don't ignore red flags. With the Knight of Cups here. Do not ignore your feelings. because it's just going to get worse. If you have doubts, there's something wrong. It's a red flag. Okay, so who is next? Is something messy? Oh, messy. Yeah, life is messy, isn't it? Okay. Let's see, rainbow. Oh, hi, Finity. Okay, did anybody ask a question? If not, I'm going to get to Finity because Finity put a question in there. Oh, what can rainbow iris? Okay, what can I do to protect myself from my abusive ex and heal? Trust your instincts. If you feel, if you feel heat, that's an indication to you that there's flames. And I don't mean in a good way. I mean, if you get a feeling, if you get an intuition that something's off, trust yourself. You do not have to prove it to anyone. No one has to prove their instincts. We would not make a dog. And I'm not saying you're a dog. I'm saying I resonate with this as well. We would not tell a dog, hey, calm down, stop raising your hackles, stop barking at that person, don't attack them even though they're like breaking into your house or doing something to you. We would never tell an animal that because that would be illogical. But we tell human beings, especially people that are in vulnerable positions, that they should doubt themselves, that they should question their reaction before they protect themselves. And I think that's very dangerous. I think it's a conditioning of being like, oh no, the water's not boiling you like a frog. The water is not boiling you. And so why I get this is it's things are coming to light. They're starting to perk your attention. You're like, I don't like that. That's a red flag. This is dangerous. I want to get away from this person. So don't doubt yourself. Completely, trust every instinct you have. Hone those skills of being identifying like an animal. If it doesn't feel right, get the heck out of there. You do whatever you have to do, can, agree with people, you whatever, and get out. Like, we don't need to prove ourselves. And I think that can be very, very dangerous. And when worst comes to worst, get out. Like, doesn't matter what you have to do, get out of the situation. As long as you're still safe in that moment, you still have the opportunity to get away. Let's see. I understand that leaving abusive situations can feel like you are going to be all alone out there by yourself, have nothing physical, lose your entire community. But what I'm trying to say is the fact that you get out of that situation gives you the ability to start a brand new life. And that can feel very scary. But what's scarier is not having the opportunity. Relationships that are abusive often end in and not having another day to do that. So do whatever you can to remove yourself from that. Like I said, it looks like smoke. These clouds look like smoke. And so when there's smoke, there's fire. When there's heat, there's fire. Don't ignore your instincts. You will eventually get out of this as long as you follow your instincts and leave the situation. It will feel like you don't have anything for a while with the Five of Pentacles. But eventually you will just need one pentacle, and that's you. You just need the essence of who you are, and you can rebuild. It is hard, but there are other people out there that can support you and that will support you. Don't ever think you're alone, because we're all in abusive relationships with our governments, with our religious groups, with our families. We are not alone. There's a lot of us. And some of us want to get free, but we don't think that there's anyone else out there that will support us. And I want to let you know they will. It is scary. I have been there myself, but there's always another day. As long as you're alive, there's always an opportunity to rebuild. And it's okay to rebuild. It's not okay to stay in a situation where you might not be here the next day. Okay, so I wish you all the luck. That felt very emotional for me. And I want you to know you're not alone. It feels that way. We are trained to believe that if we leave abusive situations, whether it's with our families, our governments, our employers, it doesn't matter what it is, even with our own children, that we will have nothing. We've been trained to believe that. But when you realize that you have nothing, when you're being subjugated, you will realize that anything is better than that. Being all alone, on your own, able to find a community that will, you can't be the only one like you. I'm just telling you that's statistically impossible. Okay, so who else has a question? Yeah, and the thing is, you'd be surprised how many people have been in your situation. They don't look all the same. They can be male or different genders. They can be the biggest people. They can be people that you would never imagine being in those situations, and they didn't leave those situations because they didn't believe that anyone else existed like them, that could understand, that they didn't have to prove their point to, that would just understand. But there's so many of us. We're all sort of in an abusive relationship, if you think about it, whether it's with our government, with our careers, with whatever. We are all in that group. And so we all need to realize that we have safe places within each other, and that we can make it out of this, but we have to choose to leave, even though it's hard, even though it's scary, that there is always a better option than being subjugated. You guys are a wonderful collective, and I'm really glad you're here for each other, because if one person feels like they have an out, a way to be free from being abused, from being treated badly, from having their life being altered by someone's whims, then that's amazing. Okay, let's see. Who did Finity, did I do yours, or did I do Speak So Well? Posted one. Okay, see, we were on the same wavelength. Oh, I wanted to tell this collective here, and I'll get to Finity, but I was struggling with being, coming on here, and not because of you guys, just because of what was going on, how many downloads I was getting. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to directly ask the universe. I'm like, I need a direct sign. I need a sign so clear that I can't misinterpret it, because I doubt myself and I do all these things. And I'm like, oh, well, maybe it didn't mean that. And maybe it didn't mean that. Okay, 5 million coincidences later, I'm still not believing. So I directly looked into the mirror and I said, okay, if you want me to keep doing this channel, if you want me to keep getting out there and talking to people, I need such a clear sign that it can't be misunderstood. So I did a belated birthday trip to Napa, and that's not near my house. It's quite a ways away, so this was quite startling. And we get to Napa, and I don't know Napa. We end up going down these little alleys and going, there's nothing here. And so we decide to stop at Kohl's to go to the bathroom, and we see this like cool, they're setting up for something big. Go over and talk to them, and they're like, oh, it's a light and arts festival. And I'm like, oh, wow, we just happen to be here. And so we decide to stay, and we go walking around, and it's kind of confusing, the map, but it's so amazing. Like, it was so beautiful, but we're all getting kind of confused. And so we stop on the corner, and I'm looking around. I'm like, I don't know how this map works. I don't see anything it says, but this is fun. Everybody's got glow stuff on and like lights and stuff like that. It's like really fun. And stop on the corner, and I'm like looking around, and then I turn to a young man who's on the curb next to us, and I just go, hi, do you know where this is? And his response was, hey, do you have a YouTube channel? And I was like, yeah. And like I said, this is like so improbable. I was like not in an area I'm normally in. And he's like, is your name Claire? And I'm like, yes. And he's like, I watch your videos. And I was just like, what? And he's halfway across the street, and he turns and he says, hey, keep making your videos. And I was just like, okay, wow. I really believe that if you ask for a sign, that I was just so shocked. My child was there, who's a teenager, and my partner, and it was like they were both like, "What? Did that just happen?" Because I would have doubted it myself if I had been there by myself. I would have made up some excuse, but I couldn't because two other people who are part of my life, they were like, "Nope, that happened." And so my point with this story is to bring it to you guys because when I say ask a very specific question, ask for a very clear sign, it's like praying. I realized I have to be really direct. When I used to pray, I used to be like, I pray for this and I pray for that. I didn't go, oh, well, I want things to be great and I want this. And like maybe I was very direct. And I was like, thank you. And then I just asked a direct question and I asked for a direct sign and it worked. And I was just like, okay, wow, I sort of believed my own things I said, but I was like, I was kind of wishy-washy about what I asked. But being here is amazing. Like I'm like, oh, okay, I will keep doing this. I will keep up the cause no matter what, because if one person, if it means that much to someone who was like, I didn't even know you were out here. I had no idea I'd ever see you. And I mean, there's a good amount of you guys. There's 11,100 subscribers, which is a lot. But if you think about it, I live in California. And the chances of me stopping in that corner, talking to that person, them recognizing me, the statistical chances of that are so mind blowing. So it's really incredible what we can manifest if we're with our intent, with our belief that it can happen. Yeah, thank you. I'm so happy to be here. I was just like, I don't care if one person shows up and they get something out of it. I mean, like it gave me back my passion for why I started this channel. That I was so excited that when one person showed up, I was like, yeah, yay. And I'm not alone. And I want you guys to feel that. Okay, so Finity, you asked, and I wrote it down, relationship. There's two people. So two people, that always adds a complication, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Yes, speak so well. Exactly. Exactly. Ooh. I was just talking about a chrysalis today. This is wonderful. So it popped out in my lap and it kind of turned and turned and turned. And I found that was really interesting because, so sorry, this is the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is about, here, the Eight of Swords is the first card we got in the collective reading. It's about faith. It's about this chrysalis is here and it's forming. It's developing. You're manifesting into who you are. You're going through a metamorphosis. And you are safe from everything outside of yourself. Anything anyone says, anything anyone does, you're safe within this chrysalis no matter which direction it's facing because you have faith. See, getting these two cards for you is to me saying that you have to have faith in your instincts. Of these two people, does one of them feel stable? Does one of them feel like they really get to the core of the issues, no games? Or does one of them feel, there's a lot going on here? It feels like one person is very solid, very clear cut, very right to the point, doesn't play games, and the other person does. It's kind of like like this word sword play. They find it kind of interesting to like to discord with you. But that's not, that doesn't give stability. So wait, I'm going to just read what you said. Okay. So I don't know if Finity, if one of them is giving you clear stability, intuition, kind of like green flags. And one of them is giving kind of more like, wow, this person plays a lot of games. They want to discord a lot about things that synchronistic to a relationship forming into something better. to something long term. There's a lot of energy this person is giving, and the other person is a little less demonstrative, but they're actually more solid. The reason there isn't as many like discord back and forth is because they're just more to the point. They kind of understand how things are. They don't need to add a lot of attention to it. It's kind of like, think about, you know, I live in the United States and we're hearing all these stories about these people's screen names, you know, big, you know, BALLS and all these things, and talking about their this and that. If you really are secure, you don't need to put it all out there. If you're really you know, a catch, you don't have to be like, yeah, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. I feel like one of the people that you're dealing with, both are not stable. Okay. That might be what this is saying, though, because here's two piles of swords, right? And then here's one sword at the top that's keeping your chrysalis stable. This card started flipping around. So what I see here from you saying that is that both energies are chaotic and it's going to mess up your stability. So maybe you shouldn't go with either of those options. Maybe you should stick with yourself for right now while you're transforming into whoever you're going to become, and then look for someone else that has that stability, because this is kind of that's what I kept getting. It's very topsy-turvy. It's a very unbalanced energy. And remember, we got the infinity sign at the beginning, so balance is very important. You know, having the strength to be alone until you find, I was talking to, wow, you got the strength card. I just said that, the strength card, and then the strength card in this deck showed up. So yes, balance. Having the strength to be alone. See the single rose? As we approach Valentine's Day, people freak out. Valentine's Day is a construct. Like, it is not magic. Most of the time, the food is awful. The service is crazy. People are going insane. It's not the greatest day to go out. It is definitely not the day to find love. You know, I'm sure there have been people there, but the energy isn't about finding a relationship. It isn't about finding love. It's about filling up our ego, about feeling like we are not alone. And it's just like, well, being alone when you like yourself is a very balanced energy. It can actually be really fun. Just finding someone to fill up that space, that other thing can disbalance, you know, unbalance your energy. So the fact that you got the exact two cards that the collective got is saying that the whole collective isn't kind of in this energy. Stick with yourself if the energy around you is not balanced. That's where your strength lies. Be that independent lion energy and be like, I am good enough by myself. And if you don't feel that, then don't be in a relationship. That's what I mean, like, I've lived my life for as many years as I've lived it. And I realize that when I'm going into relationships trying to fill myself up, it's always imbalanced. It doesn't end well. Okay, I'm just going to see. Yep, and see here's justice, and the sword is in between. See this stabilizing sword? It's the yin and the yang. So you need to have justice for yourself. You need to be a complete being, and you need to be a complete package. And then you will attract all this love. You will attract all of everything you want. It'll bring the color back into your life, because right now you need to focus on the basics. I keep getting this energy of balance. So that's very important. Right now, like I said, the mentality of wanting to be in a relationship because it's this structured day, Valentine's Day. What does that mean? It was actually made by the commercial industry. I think it was like Hallmark or one of those. And it was to sell more things. And so it has no meaning. So, you know, treat every day like it's Valentine's Day, and you will actually have a great Valentine's Day. But you have to start with yourself. See, yeah, each of these, there's two wands here. And here is this rainbow, which is talking about your chakras being in alignment. but they're separate, they're individual. If we don't come in to this with an individual mindset that we are enough by ourselves, we can't actually add to another person. We can't actually create something. Two unequal wands cannot create a union. So they will just come together. You know, if one's too short, if one isn't developed enough, if one doesn't have what it'll take from the other. And you don't need that. You're too great for that. Okay. So who has a question? Yes, self-love first. It is vital. Even if you're in a relationship, you've got to love yourself first. You've got to put yourself first. You have to do all those things first. It doesn't matter if you're a parent. It doesn't matter if you're a daughter or a son or a mother or a father. It does not matter. Relationships start with ourselves and being the best we can, putting our air masks on so that we can be there, so that we can give of ourselves. We cannot, you know, just go into relationships taking from others, and they can't go in there taking from us. Okay, so, okay, thank you, Speak So Well. Michael Drexler. Michael Drexler, you asked, am I going to get the job I want? Okay, let's see. Are you going to get the job you want? Just trying to see which cards I want to use. Okay. I'm getting a little duality in that. So the reason I'm saying that is because you got the abundance card, and I'm going purely off my instincts here. You got the abundance card, but if you look at this abundance card, it's got two options. One is this and one is that. And they're from the same place. So the same origin, but two different viewpoints. And then you also got the rejection card. See, there's all this stuff coming in. And then you got the prayer card, which also has two different places, the country and the city. So what I'm seeing here is you're kind of split here. If you don't get this job, it's going to impact the way you see yourself and what you can manifest and what it is going forward. But what I see is if you do not get this job, it will actually be an opportunity to answer a prayer, a dream that you actually have. Taking this job might in the interim be split way of living. Like maybe you have to commute a lot, or maybe it changes some aspect of your life that was giving you joy. You've always looked at things in a very optimistic way, but this job, I think, will have you going between two ways of living. And this is your solar plexus energy, the how you manifest things in the world. So I'm not sure, because we did get the rejection card. Oh, what happened? It says streaming hiccup. I don't know. I don't know. So I do get the rejection card here, which I thought was very interesting. I'm kind of getting that this job will not have a good effect on your work-home life balance. So you have to decide for yourself before you, why are you going for this job? What is the realistic implications of getting this job? And is it truly in line with what you want? So I'm going to do a few tarot cards and see what I get. Let's see, which deck should I use? Yeah, I'm just getting this huge split of like the freedom that you've had before you have this job, and then The need to have more fixed energy, more fixed time is going to impact your life in huge ways that you haven't seen yet. So you have to decide for yourself, even before you get this job, whether it truly is in alignment with the way you want your life to go. It's kind of like what I'm getting is the adjustment this job would take in your life. It would kind of be like I'm working in order to support my life, but I can't be in my life. So therefore it's taken away from my life. It's kind of like this circular argument. But that's what I'm getting. Could have nothing to do with your situation. Sometimes I pick up on other people's energy. You're awesome. Speak so well. I appreciate you so much. Okay. Let's see. Is Katie or Nellie here? If not, who do you think should go next? Speak so well. You've been paying attention more than I have. How is everybody? It's great to see you guys. I've missed you a lot. I told the story of why I'm back and the amazing confirmation I had from the universe that got me here. And if you didn't hear that, please, check out the recording after this is done. Sorry, I'm trying to close some. Now the sun's come out all of a sudden. I was just saying how much I was enjoying the rain, and now the sun is like, nope, it's time to be sunny. It's great to see you too. So, okay, Jasmine Romero. Okay, do you have a question, Jasmine, or would you like me to just read your energy, do a channeled reading, which I don't mind. I like telling you guys stories. Oh, here it is. Yeah, that's what I feel. I feel like I court everything into and not get it back. Oh, you like put everything into everyone else and they don't give it back to you. Is that your question? Oh, okay. Jasmine asked, will I meet somebody on Valentine's Day tomorrow and have a Valentine? Oh, I get worried about telling you guys, like, oh, you're going to have this, because any decision you make at this point after I tell you could actually change what you do. So I'm going to see what energy I get, because I only give you guys the energy that I've been told is for your best and highest good. Because if I tell you, oh, yes, you are, you're going to alter what you do. And that may impact you actually getting into that point. If I tell you, no, you're not, that might impact you too. Let's see. The sky. Infinite universe, cloud formations. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting here. It's like there are infinite possibilities here, because each decision you make is going to move you in a different direction, which might mean that you don't meet that person or do meet that person. I actually ran into some high schoolers, and they were in front of a psychic shop on the main street where I live. And they're like, she was completely a fake, because she told me I was going to meet somebody in November and I never did. And the other girl, the other teenager, was like, well, maybe her telling you we're going to meet somebody in November changed that. And then so you didn't end up meeting them because you expected to meet them. Yeah, it's so weird that way. But if you have a better chance, I got coffee shop. So that might be like, just be out there. Sometimes we don't even realize there's people around us that are attracted to us, that want to talk to us, but we have our faces down on our phones. We're not looking up. And, I have long hair. So if I look down, I can't see anything. I can't see any peripheral. So I might not even notice someone, which in my case, I don't need to. I have a partner. But I'm saying, put down the phone, be present in the moment, and I wouldn't be surprised if each one of you was starting to get approached by people. People do not look up anymore. And we can't be saying that we want to be conscious and connected only when we're meditating. We actually have to live like that. When you go on a walk, take your headphones off, look around, put down the phone, don't listen to anything. Be open to whatever you see. Go into your local coffee place and talk to people, interact with them, look people in the eye, if that's safe in your culture. Um, that's my best advice for anyone. We are in our phones. We are like having more of a relationship with our cell phones, with our devices, with social media. And, so I totally get that. Um, but we've forgotten that nobody's going to discover us in our living room. No one's going to just brave coming up to someone who's not even paying attention to them. That would actually be kind of aggressive. If you're not giving outward signs as an animal, like, hey, I'm interested, flip of the hair, hey, batting the eyes, breathing a little heavier. If we're not making those physical, non-verbal communications to other people, they're not going to approach us. That's terrifying. You can't expect somebody to go to that extent. I mean, if we're giving all signs off, we're looking down. And so I've been getting look up. So you got the sky. So my point here is look up, look around, be aware of the expanse, the infinite possibilities that are around you, because someone might be waiting until you look up, look around, make eye contact with them, and give them that little teeny sign that you're open to them approaching you. Yeah, you always turn your phone off. That is great. Most people don't. I'm guilty of that myself. I've been on drives that are so beautiful and I just get so into what I'm doing, that I miss some incredible things. And so I'm saying this because I realize what an addiction our phones are, that we feel so alone. So then we create a sense of community with our phone so that we don't feel intimidated. It takes great strength to go to a cafe, go to a restaurant by yourself and just sit there and enjoy your food and look around. That takes immense strength, but it also is an invitation to others. Like we're all at the watering hole going, hey, hey. But if we were all just going at the watering hole and going off into our little things and then being like, why doesn't anybody talk to me? That wouldn't work. Oh, and so this is great. The cards you got were the Four of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. So the Four of Pentacles is all about see, he's older. And I'm not saying old people just do this, but they get stuck in their ways. They're like, I'm going to do this. And I was talking about looking down, holding on to things. It's like the pentacle is the phone. The pentacle is our focus on ourselves, not looking around. Because, as a female, I'm often afraid to look up and make eye contact with people because that can be seen as an invitation. But if you are actually looking to interact with people, you've got to look up. You've got to extend the invitation. So, go into environments you feel safe, places you would want to interact with people. Like if you don't like coffee, do not go to a coffee shop because you're going to end up meeting people that like coffee. But if you love like hiking, join a hiking group and then just be like, who's here? Because they have similar interests than me, to me. And so I like this because you also got the Page of Wands, and this is like a young energy. This is about bringing that vitality, that adventure, that curiosity into the world. And I think that's where I got the hiking from, like getting out there, getting out of your comfort zone, but doing things around people that resonate with you. You don't somebody, you just like, it doesn't matter your political party, but you wouldn't go to the other political party's group and be like, hey, I'm going to find a partner here, because you'd be like, I don't resonate with this person. So, and always go out of the comfort zone. Yes, definitely. Great. Oh, what are you guys talking about? I'm just reading what you guys are talking about. Okay. Louisa. So that's what I would say. I'd say there's definitely always an opportunity to meet someone. And, he's wearing red right here, like Valentine's Day. We were talking about that new love, but you have to be curious. You have to be out there like, hey, I'm here. Smile. Look up. Look around. You are trying to attract someone. You may attract a whole bunch of hyenas over there. That's a possibility. But if you're in the balanced energy, if you're in your energy's like this, and you're trusting your instincts, you're trusting your gut, you're just going to have this feeling of, no, those people are not going to be as attracted to you because you're trying to resonate something. Be very conscious about what you want. You want fun, you want love, you want vitality, you want to feel like that childlike love. We all want that. But I'm getting this feeling of feeling very stuck. A circular feeling of like, okay, if I just stay here, if I just keep doing this, then I should find love if I'm meant to. And we have to change our routine. We have to change what we're looking for. So get out of your comfort zone. See that the sky is the limit and there's infinite possibilities. And don't settle, because I was talking to someone and I got interrupted. I don't know what happened, but what if you are just someone's side person and you're just waiting around and you're like, yeah, maybe they'll get to me. In the meantime, what if your perfect person, the person you've always dreamt about, is out there and they can't find you because you're sitting on the sidelines waiting for someone else, or you're doubting yourself? So we have to be open and not settle for things that don't fulfill us, because in doing that, like, what if you get married and then you get married to someone that doesn't fulfill you? The person that you would have resonated with is out there and now they have to find someone else because you took yourself off the market. So make sure that you're happy with your decision. If it doesn't feel right at the beginning, it's just going to get worse. Okay. Then run. Wait, what? Hard to find the right person. My daughter scares them away. Good. You want them to scare them away. You don't want any of those hyenas around. Yeah, well, she has an outside perspective. So she's like, hey, I see this from a different place. You have I want these things, but we don't always know from the inside what is best for us. So we have to trust those around us, the people we can trust, and be like, hey, what do you think? And then actually listen to them. Like, you don't have to do what they say, but at least hear someone out without judgment, without making a decision. Curiosity is the pin of a scientific mind, in a mind that is able to expand. Yeah, she has your back. That's amazing. Yeah, speak so well, said it so clearly. I got all metaphysical. Okay, Jamal asked, what can I expect with this full moon energy? This full moon energy is awesome. Like, there is so much going on. It feels scary, but also really intense and exciting. It feels like people are starting to... Okay, so 6, you got the strength card. So this is now multiple people that have gotten the strength card. And in the collective got the strength card. So this is actually a pretty big strength, though. This is the ability to actually help others release from their binds. And you're doing this through community. You're doing this through exploration. You're sharing this with others, and it's I really like this. Like, I see that you're. Let me get some more information. I want to see exactly. You're breaking out of the binds of what's always kept you stuck. So, like, you have felt like you don't fit in. Like that you're kind of, you're this person underwater and you can't breathe in this environment and stuff, but you're actually on Earth. and it still feels like you can't breathe, that you don't fit in. There's a lot of defensive energy coming towards you. You feel like kind of like an alien in your own environment. And this full moon energy to me is bringing a balance. You're starting to see that it's not that you don't fit in. It's that other people are vilifying you for who you truly are, for your true essence. They're turning you into a problem when all you are doing is existing within yourself. And so you're seeing this, and it's really balancing the information you've been taking in, what people have been saying, weighed against logic, weighed against what facts there are. You're now seeing like, oh wait, there's been a shift. You're like, I'm not the problem because people have a problem with me. That's the actual issue. It's not a problem that I don't, I'm not like anyone else. You're now seeing that that's actually your strength, but it also keeps you safe. So these are clownfish, and this is what are those called? What are these called? They keep the clownfish safe. So anyway, so you're working in symbiosis with your system. You're realizing that you don't have to prove anything to anyone. And this shift happened because it was like illuminated. You trusted your instincts. Here's with the full moon. You trusted yourself. You didn't let what people were saying impact you anymore. You actually weighed it analytically. I'm just reading what you're saying. Speak so well. And this is allowing you to break free of the binds that you couldn't get out of. Like, you're now helping other people do that as well by being an example. You're like, look, I can do this too. You're not actually stuck. It's just that you need a little help. And this is leading to a very balanced foundation. Here's the moon again. This foundation, this Four of Wands, it's leading you to a very strong foundation. It's really solidifying things. You're examining things. You got the Four and the Five of Cups, and this is about letting go of past things. You're not getting stuck there. You're like, I don't have to exist in this space anymore, and I can actually heal from these things. It's not out of the possibility. And 4 plus 5 equals 9. And the Nine of Cups is all about manifestation within oneself. It's like using everything that we've learned, every heartache we've had, every experience we've had. And instead of just going, oh, that hurt me, instead building upon it and building like your brain up. See, here's the brain coral. And you're realizing this with the Nine of Cups and the Justice card. You're realizing that the justice comes within yourself. You are that light, and you're working with others. You're curious. You're the full moon sparked something within you. You started looking at the cups not as things that just were keeping you down or meant to collect things, but what could they be used for? You're expanding your horizon, and it's exciting. Sorry, that was an intense one, but good. Like, I really enjoyed that energy. Okay. The Chariot, it's coming in very quickly, and that's exciting. So another 7, because you got 7 of, I forget what it was. Oh, yeah, that's right. And then you got Strength, which is number 8. So you have a lot of these coming after each other. They're building on each other. All your experiences, all your heartaches, they had a reason behind them, because they were supposed to give you the information so that when the shift happened, you were ready. Okay. So who is next? What? I can get in there and throw a wrench into the works? Oh, Shivani. Okay. Did you have a question, Shivani, or do you want me to just do a channeled reading? Hey, KT. Shivani just wants general advice. I missed the joke. What was the joke? Oh man, I missed a joke. General advice. Okay, you got the Seven of Wands and the World. And so let's see what else we get. Okay. This guy. Oh, ask why. Oh, I get it. How's everybody? Yes, let's answer each other. That would be great. Wow. Okay, I wasn't surprised I got. Look at this energy. Wow, this is incredible. So you got the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands in this deck is about defending yourself. You're standing your ground. You are not backing down. You're fierce. I mean, look at her. She's even wearing a mini skirt and high heels and fighting off all these wands. That's incredible. And then you got, I have to cover her up, the World and the Wheel of Fortune. Look at how similar these are. These all have the same signs. It's almost the same card. It's incredible. And see, you're standing up here on top of this Wheel of Fortune within the worlds. You're like creating by being such a bad, I don't swear, sorry. That you're standing there and you're like taking no prisoners. You're like, no, I can just swat you away like flies. And you're taking control of your life. You're creating your own world. You are moving the Wheel of Fortune. I mean, these are almost they have like the same pictures. And so the Wheel of Fortune is your world. How you turn it, how you take charge, is how it's moved. So you have more control over your manifestation, more control over your world than you can possibly imagine. I think you feel it though, because the look on her face is like really like right there like, no, I am not standing down. I'm not going to even, take off my shoes, like, no, I feel strong. Look at this power stance. And you're changing this. I mean, getting two cards that are that similar, I just find that. So I want you to look. I'm not great with signs, but I do know that that's Aquarius, that's Taurus, but I don't remember what these other two signs are. So if these are major placements in your chart, really look into those they're in and focus on balancing them. See, I find this really interesting. This is this card, the Wheel of Fortune is 10, which is an X, and the World is XX1. So what this is saying is you're going through a lot of process. I can't say the plural. And in doing that, you're moving yourself forward. And you're doing one after the other, going through all the suits to up to 10, and then starting with one again, which is the Magician. And you have the wand here. So you are the magician of your life, and you're starting to really feel that. Tom Petty, I'm going to stand my ground. Okay. So that's what I got from you for you, Shivani. Let's see if I get anything else. Something about school. So if you don't feel like you have a solid foundation in whatever area you're standing and changing the world in your world, in that way, educate yourself. Learn a little more. Make sure that you know the facts. Make sure you know how things work so that they can go smoothly. That's your strength. And then you also got garden. And this is about sowing seeds, just like the wands. They're about sowing seeds. And then you are tending to them. You're growing something, growing a whole new world, growing a whole new foundation of what you are doing, changing your fortune. It takes work. It takes, tilling the soil and, getting all the weeds out, all the obstacles, all the rocks, and then watering and tending and doing all this work. But doing that work grows into your new world. And I really see you taking a stance here. I'm feeling great about your energy. Yeah, so, and you got the Nine of Cups. And so this is about being very proud. You did all this. You planted all these crops, and now they're coming forward. They're coming into the world. It's a really great energy. Chariot, keep it up. It's coming in fast, but you've got to tend to it. You've got to do all the prep work in order to have a great product at the end of the day. Okay, I think I need something to drink. I've got so many drinks over here. Okay, who's next? You're welcome, Shivani. I'm so glad you guys are here. This has been really fun. If you haven't already, please hit the like button. I think you can double tap the screen if you're on your phone. If you're not on your phone, there should be a little thumbs up. Or if you really don't like me, you can put a thumbs down. It's your choice. Okay. Oh, thank you so much, Shivani. I will definitely get myself some coffee. I appreciate that very much. Or maybe some Thai iced tea. I've been wanting that lately. Okay. Does anyone have... Oh, Francesca, you would love a general love message. Okay, Francesca. I think I need one of these cards for you. This is the Urban Crow Oracle. I've been seeing a lot of crows and getting them in my messages. Okay, love. And this is, so we got 52, which is condenses down to a 7. And then we got warning. Okay, I want to get some more information about that. Like I've been talking about, this time of year makes everyone a little more vulnerable to, oh, yeah, and then 24, which condenses down to a 6, illusion. So yes, as we're out there dating, as we're out there in relationships, we've got to remember it's rare that someone actually presents themselves the way they truly are. They mirror us. They create a projection, an illusion, because they want to be seen as this, they want to be picked. They want to be chosen, which everyone does. But sometimes people wanting to be chosen leads to them creating an illusion that's not real. And so what I'm hearing here is trust, don't be afraid, because there's no fear. That people aren't doing this to be malicious. They're not trying to do that. They just don't want to be rejected. They want to be the one that someone picks, and they do it unconsciously. But pay attention. Like, I see this as the Hermit card, in the fact that you have to go within yourself. If something feels a little too good to be true, if they're always saying like, oh yeah, me too, or doing that, it's important that we see that for what it is. Like, oh, what do you like then? Like, what of that do you like? Like, if a person is going to create an illusion, we have every right to make sure that we're seeing the truth of who someone is, because they could be creating an illusion and meanwhile they're a garbage can. Like, we don't want that. They could just be projecting all your wishes to your face so that they can like distract you away from seeing that they're actually not who they're presenting themselves as. So getting illusion and warning, I would say that be very conscious of what, who's coming towards you. Is there like, oh my gosh, I like that too. I don't know if you've seen this before. There's a movie called Frozen, and there's a scene where the evil prince, and I'm sorry, spoiler, but it came out a long time ago, is like, oh, and I love, yeah, and we like sandwiches. And that's not what he was about to say. But he just was mirroring what she wanted to the point where she just thought they were meant for each other when he was actually a big creep. So, because, oh, you got commitment on the bottom, number 8. And we keep talking about strength and trusting your intuition with number 8 here. So that's very important here. If you want to make a commitment to someone, you have to trust yourself. You have to have the strength in someone's behavior, what they're saying. Don't just believe someone. Really test out whether it has the, it stands the test of time. Like, okay, hey, oh yeah, you like, I heard this from another tarot reader. Oh, you like the Beatles? Really? Okay, what song do you really like? and you were just listening to a Beatles song. Oh, really? What does it mean to you? Like, question, just ask those little questions. Um, and you'll see whether someone's just, creating an illusion and mirroring back to you what you want to hear, or whether they're really a garbage can. Sorry to be mean, but I'm getting a lot of that. We're around Valentine's Day, and some people are just dumpster fires. They are just garbage cans, and they just want to come into your life and take from you. And don't ignore the warnings. Where there's, smoke, there's fire. Believe that. It's not all flowers. If they tell you it doesn't stink, trust yourself. Okay, so I'm going to pull a few cards and see if I get anything else about this energy. You love coffee too? Yeah. I love coffee. I don't care what anybody says. I've always loved coffee. And if that's my worst addiction, pretty good. Okay, you got the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is about generosity. Here's like the olive branch here, and here's money on a branch. So you are kind of giving that energy. Like, you are so valuable that you are like, when people meet you, they're like, oh, I want some of that. So they want that commitment. They want a piece of that. And what is really important, the warning you're getting is use your intuition. Trust yourself. If it doesn't feel balanced, if it feels over the top, if it doesn't feel genuine, don't discount those red flags. Don't discount, the smoke, and there's fire there. And on the other side of that, if you start noticing someone and they're like, oh yeah, I like this and that, and they seem a little quirky or whatever, but they are genuine, give them a chance. Because I think a lot of, not so that they can deceive someone, but because they think they won't be accepted for being the odd, unique person they are, not realizing that that actually will lead to a long-term stable relationship. And then you got the 10 of Cups, and the 10 of Cups is about emotional fulfillment. It's usually the rainbow with the little family. So as long as you follow this, as long as you trust your instincts, and you don't, don't sit there and just believe whatever someone says, but you question it in love to get clarity, you're going to have the 10 of Cups. It just might take a little while. You've got to make a lot of connections. You've got to make a lot of tries, and that's okay, because sometimes we have to experiment a lot to get the right color combination if we're blending colors. You might at first blend with someone very well, but then you guys realize, like, oh my God, I hate that. I can't live with that. I can't live with that way of being. And you had no idea. And then now you're stuck in a relationship and you're like, oh God, if I just paid attention, when I first met this person, that was never going to work. So that's just my 2 cents on that. You're welcome. Okay, who's next? Let's see. We've got, it looks like 37 minutes left. How do we know if it's meant for me or anyone else, and what does collective mean? Okay. If you hear something, and even if you don't agree with all the words said, even if the situation doesn't directly apply to you, does it feel like it activates something in you? Like, if you hear a story or you are watching a movie and then there's something about it, you haven't been in that situation before, you haven't been in that direct, exact, situation, but it resonates within you. It feels like, oh, wow, I can actually take something from this. I can extrapolate it. It's kind of like how stories work with the morals. It's like I love some very like folk stories where it's like a spider in the sky, and it has, I can't relate. I'm not a spider. I've never been in the sky except in an airplane. But you resonate with the moral, you resonate with the essence of the story, and then there you extrapolate it into areas of your life that get you to think, that get you to go outside of yourself and see how you're connected to everything. That's what I love about literature. That's what I love about stories, because they don't have to be exact. They just have to have the feeling, the intent, the intentions, and then we can all relate to them. And that's what collective means. When I'm doing a collective reading, I'm not talking about like, okay, you, whoever, is having this and this exact thing happen to you. But does it resonate with you? Does it make you go, oh, I can relate to that? That is helping me a little better in my life, because now I can extrapolate on the example into my own life and make it apply. So let's see. Is there anyone, speak so well, is there anyone that has asked a question and that I have not seen while I was talking and gesturing and getting into it? I wish I could hear you guys. Louisa. Okay. Just wants a general channeled message. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Let's see, Louisa. Let's see. Oh, hi, Allie. Nice to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Allie is actually one of my first subscribers, has been here almost since the beginning. I get so excited thinking about this. Okay, so Louisa, you got number 9, 9 of Pentacles, which is about it. The word on it is gain. And the 9 of Pentacles is about working really hard and looking around. Kind of like, okay, here I'm going to give an example. If you made investments in something and you're like, okay, I'm going to put money here and I'm going to put money here and I'm going to put money here. And then you step back and trust in the fact that it's going to grow, and you're watching the market, and then you're watching your gains come in. So this is a manifestation. This is a confirmation that things that you put effort into and kind of just like put over somewhere, like if you planted something and then it was all set up with the irrigation, with sunlight, everything was, in the works. And then you came back and you're like, oh, wow, look at what has grown. That's what the 9 of Pentacles is about. Okay, let's see. And then you got the Princess of Discs. So this is, again, the Princess of Pentacles. This is about some kind of investment. You were very targeted. I don't know if you even knew this was coming forward. It might have been something you forgot about. It doesn't have to be about money. It could be about just something in the 3D world that you kind of like. I start a lot of projects. I start a lot of things all over the place. I have ADHD, and I start things all the time, and then I just let them kind of go. And then I go, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that idea, or I totally forgot about what I got going. And I go check on it, and I'm like, wow, I didn't realize that. We have this thing called acorns, and we were just putting pocket change. It's like, oh, take the change from whatever I buy and put it in there. And then it's like a lot of money. And you weren't like, oh, wow, I didn't know that was going to be there. I didn't know that was going to happen. So I see something coming in, a gain that you started quite a while ago, and it grew roots. This could have been a relationship, networks, finances. I'm not sure. I'm doing good, Allie. It's so nice to see you. Okay. So Louisa, that's what I'm seeing for you. I'm definitely seeing something that you planted, started, were creating. You kind of just, I think you weren't focused on it. You were focused on something else. See how here's this wand and it's pointing down, and the diamond is pointing into something else. Like it's almost like she's on a little mountain. But behind her are all these trees and there's all these roots. So I see that you kind of like just moved on with your life. You're like, oh man, I decided that like 10 years ago, or I started that 10 years ago. I just totally haven't thought about it. But there's something that you planted, that you started, that you created, and now it's coming in to your consciousness. It has been growing and you didn't even know. Oh, that's gross. Sounds like the yogurt is not mold. Well, hey, maybe it is because they created penicillin from mold, which was just an accident. It's like they were trying to do something else, realized that mold created penicillin, and it saved everyone's lives. And that's kind of what I'm getting. There's something that you did, and you didn't even realize it was going to create gains. It was going to create something because you were focused on something else. And again, where I'm getting the infinity sign, the two of pentacles, balance. You were focused so much on one area of your life that you didn't realize that this was still going. And now they're coming into balance. They're coming into reality. This is, again, like the strength card everybody keeps getting with the infinity sign at the top right here. And so everything's coming into balance because you had the strength to go on, even though what you wished for at the time, you're like, I have to have this. I need this. And the universe was like, oh, okay. And so was working on it this whole time to give you what you want, but you gave up on it. But now it's coming back into fruition. Everything's coming back into balance. There's been a major shift. It's scary, but we're now discovering things that we had forgotten about. Whether it's our community, whether it's an old friend, whether it's just ourselves. Oh, no, I don't. Nothing. But I'm not going to tell anyone. I've actually told people that they shouldn't be in relationships. I've gotten warning signs about people's health. I do it based on the person's energy. If someone does not want an answer that says, "Hey, you did something really wrong," or whatever, I'm not going to tell them. Because with the World card here, that would be harmful. I have to interact with everyone in the way that they are receptive to. When I do personal readings, sometimes I get really like, I push people, but that's a person that has actually asked me to do that. I'm not going to push my viewpoints, my agenda on anyone. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm only here to give people what they are actually receptive to receiving. That would be harmful to just have my own agenda. Okay, so who is next? Okay, well, that's okay. I'm sorry, I'm trying to catch up with everybody. So, would anybody like it looks like Alex would like a reading. You're feeling down. Okay. Let's see. You're feeling down. What are you feeling down about? Let's see. See what I get. Okay. Let's see. What else? That's very interesting. So you got, sorry. You got quest and enlightenment. So what I'm seeing here is you might be feeling down because you feel kind of lost. Like, where are you in your journey? Where are you in your path in life? Like, we're all like, oh, I want enlightenment. I want to have this, like, speak my truth and have this enlightenment. What I don't think people realize is our quest to enlightenment is one of being, see, there's two children here and there's two older. We are looking towards someone else to give us the path when we actually need to venture out in uncertainty. We feel down because we feel like we are failing within the confines of the criteria, the boundaries which have been set for us. Like, I think if we were to just focus on actually truly what makes us happy, like it did when we were children, we look to others to guide us. And when we look to others to guide us, we feel a sense of disempowerment. And so the important thing here is to always speak your own truth, even if you have to do it alone. And doing it with that everything that we think has to be in the light. It has to be in balance. It has to resonate with us. When we say things, when we live a life that does not resonate with us, it makes us depressed. We feel like caged animals. We feel like we are stuck within a confine, within a life that never has any outcome that we want. So I wouldn't be surprised if you're feeling down, because what I'm getting here is that you are trying to please too many people. You are trying, instead of just knowing your truth, instead of just being like, this is my truth, and you don't have to like it, but I don't have to pretend it's not true. I don't have to prove anything to anyone. I don't have to be anything that I don't want to be. And that's your free will. I'm just seeing what people are. That's okay. You know what? Nothing. No, ask your questions, because that's how you get expansion. Asking questions and going, well, okay, I want to know the answer. I want to know more. That's actually intelligence. It's not just going, yep, I believe you. And like, why? Why do you see that? Why do you feel that way? That's a good question, because what resonates for me may not resonate for you. I don't know that this is going to make you feel better. I actually wanted to be a psychologist a long time ago, and my psychology premise was just stop it. Like, I live that kind of way. If something isn't working for me, if people are being, difficult, and they don't want to live the way I want, in the way that it's making me feel like less than a person, and limited in my quest to enlightenment, then I go around and go, I don't need you in my life. And I have cut out a lot of people. And I thought I would feel very lonely, but I'm not doing it because they don't agree with me. I'm doing it because they're limiting my quest, my life. And who needs that? That does breed depression. And my point is, I cut out anything that isn't in alignment with the best and highest good of myself, in connection with the collective that is our entire world. So anyway, so you got the 5 of Cups. So on your quest for enlightenment, you're feeling like you don't have enough. The 5 of Cups is all about only looking towards the cups that are still upright. But the interesting thing here is these cups are all upright, but this horse is thirsty. It doesn't have the cups, but there's rain in the air. And instead of looking up, instead of going, oh, okay, I can get the water myself. I can be autonomous. I can stand on my own. I do not have to continue the learned helplessness I was taught in our society, in our cultures, in our families, in our relationships. But instead, I'm going to actually look up and give you're leading yourself to the water. You're leading yourself, like, here's the quest, here's the water. And so instead of looking up for someone else to give you the water, like in these situations, to give you enlightenment, you're actually looking down, you're looking in front of your path and deciding which step you need to go in. And that'll give you a feeling of autonomy, a sense of that you can move forward. And until you stand up and look at, that you're not just this tree that's above ground, that underneath it all, that you are actually connected to everything, and that you're limiting yourself by only seeing what you can see. You have to trust, you have to have faith that there's more than what you're seeing. And I don't know what else to say about that. Well, nothing. Here, since you're on my channel, I'm going to give you a reading. Okay. What I see here is a lot of loneliness. There was a sense a long time ago of wonder. You were going to be something. You were growing something. You were happy. There was this feeling of connection. This could have been a relationship. This also could be the very foundation, this being a cradle. This could be the foundation of how you grew up, that you were taught that nobody could be counted on, that nobody was that nice, that nobody actually did things for other people just to be a good person. Like they had some motivation, they had some ulterior motive. And you went forward with that. You were like, "No, I'm going to be very cutting. I'm going to just go with my own momentum. I'm going to like um find the fault within every situation I was in because I was abandoned. I was treated as though I wasn't enough. That feeling transferred to you weren't letting that go. You have the death card here. And that way of thinking is very convoluted. It makes your energy very thick. It doesn't allow energy that's not in alignment with that feeling of feeling neglected, abandoned. But instead you're trying to clean up a mess that's so toxic, that is so permeating the very essence of who you are, that you have to be willing to do the hard work. You have to be willing to scrub the oil out of your system to see the light through the mud that you've been swimming through. And I'm sorry you went through that. And you can tell me I'm wrong, but I don't believe I am. And I'm sure that wasn't as nice as you expected me to be. Okay. So Jamal, maybe it represents impending fear, stress, or something that you're trying to avoid. Let's see. I'm just going to get a little more. Okay, so we got the 10 of Wands again, and this is that instinct. So yeah, I'm getting a warning that you need to put down the burden. At least just do it for one night. Just say, you know what? I'm going to put all my concerns, everything I've been dealing with down. I am going to spend one night, just one night. And if you can't start with that, start for an hour. I am going to literally not think about any of what I have to do, what has to come next. And instead, I'm going to put all of that down so I can start looking around, so I can just be in the moment, so that I can just see what's going on. And I think you'll really enjoy this with the King of Cups. What I see here is you need to put back on your crown, even if it's just an hour at a time, and not be in the state of feeling overburdened. It was so healing for me. One night I was just like, you know what? If I don't do anything right now, if I don't get up, go check on my child, if I don't go check on my pets, if I don't go do this, if I don't go fix something, that everything will be okay. Like it will still exist. Like I don't have to hold up everything. And I'm getting that for your energy, like Jamal, like you need to put down the burden, even if it's just for 5 minutes. Just sit in that energy of like, okay, I don't have to do anything in this 5 minutes. Everything will still exist. The world will still turn. No one will die. Nothing will happen. Nothing bad will happen. And if you have to start off with 5 minutes, do that. But then ultimately build up and just be like, hey, nothing bad happened. You survived and you got a sense of putting down that burden. You're able to look up and look around and actually see your life and all the opportunities you have. Oh, I didn't say, hey, nothing. I didn't say it was a relationship with a girl. I said it was when you were a child. I said this happened when you were a child. These were your caregivers. That's what the Two of Cups can also mean. It can mean that something happened when you were a child and you felt, and then you carried this on, and then you viewed everything that happened to you through this lens. We can't see any different unless we question that. We can't say, oh, if we always say, this is the way things are, this is how I see things, we become very narrow and finite in our ability to see every aspect, every perspective. And then we believe, we double down that our viewpoint is the only one that exists because it keeps us safe. Not knowing can be very scary, but it can also be an opportunity to learn. Okay, whatever you say. You have fear of falling in love after so much work you've done. Yes, but we have to remember that the first relationship you had, if you're not going into every relationship without all that baggage, if you're not seeing that person as a brand new experience, something you've never experienced before, if you start stereotyping people's behaviors, the things they do, and adding a value that doesn't exist within that relationship, you are actually recreating the same relationship again and again. So it's very important that before you go into any relationship, that you are clear on going into this relationship with a blank slate. And as soon as you notice yourself making stereotypes or making assumptions of a meaning, of a motivation of that person's behavior, then that is where you're like, oh, okay, wow, I'm falling back into a pattern. And that's a groove. It's like getting back on the train tracks when you actually decided to drive a car. You're getting yourself stuck in the same ruts because it's a habit, it's a pattern. And so just identifying that, that's where the intelligence comes from. That's where the ability to find a new relationship that is actually truly new by not making stereotypes. But human beings make stereotypes. So it's important for you to go, oh, I'm making a stereotype. I'm making an assumption about this person's intent. Therefore, I have to check myself. I have to hold my insecurities. I have to hold my fears, and instead see this person as a completely new entity. Okay. Yeah. And that's what I was saying. Like people go, oh, this didn't come from my house, my childhood, because nothing directly happened to me. But it did, because your viewpoint is formed by your childhood. The way you see the world, the way you interpret, by your culture, by your parents. And so then when you identify that we all do it, every single one of us, but it's the person that becomes aware, that becomes enlightened, that can look at every prejudice, every, not that we don't, not denying that we all make prejudice assumptions. That's called predictive learning. It's a way to keep ourselves safe. But in doing that, we also pigeonhole and create tracks that people have to follow, or it disrupts who we believe we are. So a simple thing like your parents telling you, we always do this. This is how the world works, and this is how relationships work. This is how men are. This is how women are. This is how moms are. This is how dads are. That actually ingrains us into a track, and we have to question ourselves and go, oh, does that actually make sense to me in this situation? Yeah, I do this for free because I really enjoy being with you guys. I keep saying I'm going to do it, and I will, but I'm going to do personal readings, where you can book a personal reading, and you just get to hang out with me, and we actually get to see each other. And but this I do because I knew there were other people like me that wanted to make connections, that saw the world as a much broader, much larger, much more unlimited space. And I knew I wasn't the only one. And so I come on here because I want to interact with people who have that want, that desire to see the bigger picture, to find more answers that aren't just like, okay, hey, uh, yeah, anyway, there's more to the world than meets the eye. And hey, if you want to buy me a cup of coffee or tea, please. I mean, I appreciate it. But I do this just because I really enjoy it. You guys are too. You guys show up like that. I want you to understand that you guys are a blessing to me. You're a blessing to the other people in the chat. Like even people that come on here and they say stuff, it gets us thinking, it gets us interacting, it gets us seeing different perspectives. And that allows everyone to expand their consciousness. And expanding our consciousness is something we can do free. It's something that we can do by just choosing to open up to different views that don't match our stereotypes, don't match our prejudice, don't match our pattern recognition. Um, let's see. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Nothing as long as as long as you are respectful to everyone and ask respectful questions, I welcome anyone to be here. I just want to make sure that you're interacting with other people in the comments and being kind to them and respecting when they're uncomfortable as well. And that's all I ask, everybody to be respectful of each other. I swear, I don't swear on here, not because some people find that offensive. And so I'm not going to do things that offend anyone. I used to be a preschool teacher and a special needs nanny, and I always found it important to speak as though I'm speaking to the youngest, speaking to the one that is earlier on their path, because we can all learn from that. And so as long as we're all in that energy and that open discord, that's great. I personally do not do things on here that anyone would find offensive, because why? I'm trying to communicate, I'm trying to connect with others. So I'm not going to do things that in my normal day-to-day life, I say all sorts of stuff. I'm a normal person. But I think it's important to value everyone's, uncomfortableness. Like, I'm not saying I'm not going to voice my opinions. I have very strong opinions, but I don't need to be offensive about it. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Nothing. Okay, is there anyone that has a question? Because I would like to. KT, I'm so sorry you came in here a while ago. I don't even know if you're still here. But yeah, I appreciate that. I actually like when people ask me very edgy questions, or questions of like, well, I've had people test me. They're like, okay, what's wrong with me? Or what's wrong with a family member? And I'm like, oh, okay, let me tap in and I can tell them. When I do a lot of energy healing on people, and I can tell exactly, I don't even try to do it. I reach my family, I touch them, and I end up going right sore. It's because I want to make something feel better. I want to heal. And so I'm not doing anything on here that would hurt someone, because I think that's destructive. Why do that? But if I can make somebody uncomfortable by pushing them out of their predetermined course, I can show them that they're not a linear thinker, that they are actually a multifaceted intelligence that can think about things in so many different ways. That's amazing. That's awakening. That's a very good question. Nothing asked. And then while I'm waiting for whoever wants a reading, I'll answer that nothing. So I don't use my gift to get money, because I've always known that as soon as you use um, a gift you're given for personal gain, just to get more than you possibly could need, then you've gone past what the gift was meant for. It's hard to explain. Okay, so I'm comfortable. I've always been comfortable in my life. I've lived in horrible neighborhoods. I have lived in like some of the worst neighborhoods. I'm from the Bay Area in California, and I grew up in Oakland, California. And I grew up in a very bad neighborhood. And but I always had the basics of what I needed. And being in that neighborhood, being in those schools, dealing with people who didn't look like me, didn't have the same cultures, taught me so much. And it taught me what I needed to do in life in order to be the person that I'm supposed to be. Like, this is a journey. I have never tried to get money out of my gift, out of my intuition, because I have just asked, hey, I need to be comfortable. I need to be okay. I need to have my basic needs because I value everything that I have. And so I don't need a whole bunch of money, which is a theoretical concept, to make myself feel okay. Now, if I was in a position where I lost everything, I would be like, why is this happening to me? I see life as going the way it's supposed to go. If I'm supposed to win the lottery, I would actually play the lottery. I have no interest. I get numbers all the time. I get told that what things are going to happen. I don't use this information to benefit myself personally because it takes away your gift. I've learned because when I was a teenager, I did use certain things to get myself ahead in high school and in relationships and stuff, and I actually lost it. I think you need to understand that because you're given a gift, you're being used like an instrument. And the moment you take that and decide that you are actually the person playing the instrument, you lose that ability because you've now taken it on as ego. And so there's no, there's no room in this kind of process for ego. So that's my answer. I have never had any interest. I've had plenty of opportunities. Just, it's not my interest. We all have different ideas of what idealism is, what an ideal world is, what wealth is. And my idea of wealth and manifestation is different than yours. I have actually manifested every single thing I've ever wanted. Well, that's a good question. What about homeless, poor people? Don't take the money for you, use it to help people. Yes. And see, that's one of those things I can do. I'm not here to do that. I came on YouTube to gain a community. I can just go out there by myself and make a lot of money, but it won't actually seed the collective. It won't actually help things grow. I'm just one person, but the power of many. What if I get interest from 100 people that want to do that and want to give back to their community, and I helped them find that path? That therefore that actually grows the wealth and spreads it around, and actually those people are in better positions to help the homeless or poor people instead of just some amount of money I can give to a system which will eat it up. Instead, I'm helping connect with people who actually want to do these things in the world, and they have a better route to helping those people. I've connected with people who are, work with different communities like in Afghanistan and all these other places. And I'm actually helping them hone their skills so they can help these people in the real world, the 3D world. Okay, we're coming on 2 hours. Okay, is there anyone else? Yeah, and I do think I manifested you nothing. I think the fact that your name is nothing and you have a white circle, to me, this is that you're expanding and you're exploring and you're trying to find a path. And maybe the reason I'm here today is for you, is for you and everyone else to see that just because someone comes at me and is like, hey, I'm going to question you, my response isn't to get defensive, but instead to explore with them and say everybody's viewpoint is valid as long as they're not offensive. Michael, you said, and people don't like you for some reason. They don't like me either. You guys may come on here and you like me and you guys, like my smile and how I treat you, but most people don't like me. Most people don't like me because I will look at someone and go, oh, that's not nice, or hey, let's do something else, or that's a stereotype, or that's doing something to harm someone else. And people want me to shut up all the time. And I know that's kind of swearing, but that's a very common thing for people who are on this path of exploration, of wanting there to be a different way. People don't like you. You ever hear kill the messenger? Don't kill the messenger. So that's why I come on here. I try to find other people who are in that same position. And they're like, oh man, no one likes me. Every time I say something, people are like, be quiet. I don't want to hear that. And I knew there were other people out there like that. So I wanted to make a safe place where other people could come and question what's going on with them. Yes, you can have I thought I did your reading, but okay, Louisa. Okay. I am going to start off with you, Louisa. Let's see. Crossroads. Okay, Louisa, you were at a crossroads. Couldn't be more literal. I really feel that. Okay. Let's see what cards. Today has been a little serious. It's been like so serious. There's a lot of serious stuff going on in the world right now. And we have to remember that taking on the weight of the world, like going, oh, I've got to save all these people and I've got to do all that, is too much. Literally start small. It makes a big difference. Be kind to people. Give aid to those around you. Give someone just a momentary, attention. Like, look at people. Yeah, okay. So you're at a crossroads and you're making judgment. Oh my gosh, like look at these two cards. They're very similar. You're standing there and it's like you're right. The sun is shining. It is shining light on everything, shining light on your life. The clouds are parting. Everything is opening up. You are having to decide what your next step is going to be. Are you going to follow the path that you have always followed? Are you going to venture onto the new path, but it's scary? Are you going to just say, screw all that, I'm going to go this direction? That's the infinite possibility, but you're going to have to decide that for yourself. Looking at it clearly, looking at it with intellect, and removing yourself from it. The perspective. See how this person, we're viewing them from this perspective. We're not viewing them from a first person. So looking at yourself like that, what's coming up for you? Take a snapshot of that in your head and then expand on it. Look at it from all directions. How did I get here? How did I get to that decision? And I think that's really going to help you, like getting that perspective. And then you have the Knight of Swords here. So this to me is like, once you decide what your truth is, it's going to come in really quick. The skies are the limit. So you can decide to venture off onto a path that has never been traveled before. But I'm seeing that you're going to have to pull back, look at things clearly and objectively. I use this example. I take a snapshot in my head, like in editing film, like just a snapshot of the most important thing, the thing that I'm really focused on. And then I go, okay, how did I get here? Where do I want to go? And I examine it. I really like focus on it, and I don't just assume that I know the correct direction, that I know the correct answer. This is a new situation, so you've got to look at it as a new opportunity, a new situation, and where are you going to go with it? So this is for Louisa. Thank you so much, Michael. I still haven't figured out what those jewels are. Oh, wow. So you got the Four of Pentacles. See how the Four of Pentacles is being protected, it's staying closed in, like in the nest, like, no, I'm not going to move. And then you got the Eight of Wands. So this, now you are taking your fire, you're taking your energy, and you are moving it into reality. You're venturing out of the nest. And that's exciting. Like, we often get afraid of change, but if we actually change the narrative in our own lives, in our own head, that change is exciting, change is an opportunity to see and experience things we've never experienced before. And you're moving away from situations that no longer serve you. As the moon, which just was full yesterday, starts waning, yeah, I think that's what it's called, waning or waxing. I can never remember. As it gets smaller and smaller, you are moving away into the dark, into the unknown, away from things that you did know but were keeping you stuck. Okay. Is there anyone else? Because we are a little past 2 hours. And this is going to cause a lot of disruption in your life, but it's a good thing. Like, change doesn't have to be scary. It can actually be an exciting thing. You know, when some kids are little or even adults, the storm comes in and it's exciting. You can feel the ionization, I can't talk today, of the air. You can feel it, the electricity in the air, and some people get afraid of that. I want you to see that as exciting. I want you to see that as an opportunity. This crossroads is a major step in your life. You know, embrace it, enjoy it. Like, instead of being afraid, because we will manifest that, be excited. What could happen? You would like a reading behind the Roads movie? Do you have a specific question, or would you like me to do more of a channeled reading? Hi, Frankie. Would you like do you have a direct question, or do you just want me to give you a channeled reading? Channeled would be wonderful. Okay. Ooh. Let's see. These are new cards that I've only used a little bit. If you caught the videos from, I think it was yesterday, I used them. I like them a lot because, here, I'm going to get you a, this person makes 3 decks, and I know of. And there's these circular cards, the archetypes, oracle, and then, ooh, they're falling all over the place. They're circular, so that makes it hard sometimes. So you got the womb and the mountain. Oh my gosh, these are very similar. So something is brewing within you. Behind the Roads, I would like to have a reading. My name is Frankie, channeled. I wonder about if I'm deluded. I feel like you're incubating something. I don't think you're deluded. I think something is actually growing within you. With the womb and the mountain here, and see there's the person in the mountain. It's kind of a similar energy. So something is growing within you. You are having an awakening. It can feel like you're deluded. It can feel like you're insane. You're like, where am I coming up with these ideas? These don't match with what I've been told. People will think I'm crazy. What is going on with me? I want you to understand that as you grow this awakening within yourself, trust yourself. Let it grow, nurture it, just like you would with a baby. Even if you can't have children because you're not of that feeling of growing something within yourself. You know, nurture it. live for that growth. Okay, so let's see what this person's other deck. So then we'll use their animal cards. Oh, that's too many. That's funny though, the bat came out and we're talking about a cave here. And so you have this, so bats use echolocation to see. They can't really see and they can't stand on their little legs, really. That's why they hang, because the bones in their legs are very small. So they have to be different. They are completely different. But we wouldn't say, oh, that's illogical or deluded that this bat actually sees with echolocation. We just go, oh, that's the way a bat is. But we're making stereotypes about our human selves, that we can only do this and we can only do that based on whose rules. Like, so what I see you as is you're growing the seed here of doubt, that everything you've been taught, everything you've learned, the way we think is not working for you anymore. It's a seed of doubt and it's making you doubt yourself. And that's okay, except if you buy into it. So you have to understand that you have to have faith in yourself more than you have to have faith in what someone has told you. Okay, so let's get some tarot cards for your energy. You're welcome, Louisa. I'm so glad you were here. Oh, I gotta go. I'm over. But here, let's finish up. So you got the Tower and the Five of Pentacles. And so what I'm seeing here is this way of thinking, this awakening, this thing that's growing inside you, this feeling, this movement within yourself, moving the mountain. The mountain can move because you believe it moves. This is causing a tower in your life. You're like, oh my gosh, the foundation of what I believe is changing. Am I crazy? Am I making this up? No, you're not. But it's causing you to doubt yourself. You're not intaking as much nutrients. See how the rose is drooping? It's unable to take in the water because it is doubting itself. It is actually compromising its own self. You don't even, at this point, you've learned to doubt yourself so that no one even has to put you in your place and keep you in your confines, in your little box. You're doing it yourself. And so when you start thinking, I'm not deluded, I don't have to prove this to anyone. I'm not. I believe this. I feel this. My intuition, my instincts about myself are right. That's when you get strength. That's when you're out of the box. That's when what you're growing within yourself, that seed of doubt, sprouts forward and grows. You know, don't be afraid. This is exciting. You're not alone. You just do things differently, just like the bat. You do things differently, and that's what's wonderful. We all do things differently. We all see the world differently. And if we all realize that that's not something to be afraid of, it's a way to actually expand our intelligence, we'd have an amazing world. Okay. Speak so well. Should we finish up, or is there anyone else that would like a reading that has been talking? It looks like we're kind of like naturally winding down. This was an interesting live, but I haven't been on in a while, and the energy, like I said, has changed a lot. Oh, you are? I'm sorry. I hope that's okay, but I really feel like you are growing something. Have faith in yourself. Nurture it like you would a living being. Your ideas, the way you see the world, is like a new life. It needs to be protected. It needs to be nurtured. It needs to be brought into the world and not, manipulated into stop growing. Okay, we should wrap it up. Okay. I'm going to just pick a few cards and see what comes out. Okay. So the collective is giving the mask. And what I see here is the mask. It can make us hide and camouflage ourselves, or we can be willing to stand out. We can be willing to show our true face, even when people say things against us. When we choose not to hide anymore, when we choose to face the world as we truly, and say, I actually see the world this way, and I don't have to prove it to anyone. I don't have to explain it to anyone. It just exists. That's when we get freedom. And I hope everyone is starting to see that. I don't know what this means, but I keep getting it. I would have to look it up in the book, but I keep getting this card. And so maybe it means something to you guys. Maybe you're seeing the truth, because blue is the throat chakra speaking. And maybe you're seeing this. Maybe this is like your third eye opening. You're realizing there's more than can be seen. And that's giving you a step up on your expansion, your enlightenment journey above many people that aren't. You're realizing that property, that material things are not how you get enlightened, how you grow and expand, but it's just a means to help others expand. Oh, hey, Just Kitten. Okay, I'm going to do you. Okay, can I do Just Kitten's reading before I log off? Speak so well, because I know you're not in charge of me, but you are always looking out for me. Hey, Just Kitten. Okay, is there a question that you have? I haven't seen you in a while. It's so nice. I mean, I haven't been on here, but I miss everybody in the other collective. Okay, Just Kidding. Is there anything that you would like to know that, or do you just want me to do a channeled reading? And then I'm logging off, so I want to make sure I get you in. I'm the boss, thank you. Not sure what to ask. Okay. I know, I ask people that, and then I have no idea what to ask when I'm getting a tarot reading. Very interesting. Channeled reading. Ooh, falling all over the place. Interesting. Okay. Okay, let me get, what cards do I want to use? Did I get these out already? Yes. I feel like I need to use a different deck. Okay, I'm going to use these. I have a lot of decks. This is my first deck, though. My first deck ever. I've had it for a long time. Okay. I feel like you're in a situation, because this was the collective message was about the Eight of Swords and the Strength card, which is number 8 too. And then you got the Eight of Swords from this deck, and the Knight of Cups in reverse, and the Three of Swords in reverse. So and the Ace of Swords in reverse. So what I'm seeing is that you're kind of not trusting yourself. You're feeling pulled between like the world, like what your higher knowing is, and those around you. You're letting the chatter, the judgment, the constraints of those around you impact what you truly know. It's affecting your choices. You're not trusting yourself. You are hearing. So this is interesting. We were just talking about the bat right before you logged in, and they use echolocation. So the messages you're getting, you're thinking they're coming from your spirit guides. You're thinking they're coming because they have a different frequency. They have a frequency that you've regularly associated with spirit guides, the divine, etc. But they're actually not. They're just using a way of communicating with you that is actually deceptive. And so you need to be able to clear your energy, be very analytical about it, be very focused, neutral. Be very neutral, and then actually listen for this softer message that's coming in, that's actually trying to get you to focus and make good choices and not pay attention to this. There is some energy in your energy that is actually disrupting your ability to see clearly. it's focusing on hardships from the past, things that have hurt you, and leading you away from your Knight of Cups, this energy of feeling very balanced with your emotions. So something is impacting you, and you're not realizing that it's a deception. It's not there to help you. It wants to lead you in a certain way because you're very valuable. You have a very high vibing energy, and it wants to lead you in the direction of serving it versus serving your highest good. Care of an old lady, she's dying. When I know I should leave, but no money. Oh, yeah, I'm feeling like that. Maybe that's what I'm hearing. This like meow 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 meow. It's very. It's like the death um message is coming in. It's like, hey, it's trying to pull your energy, and that isn't a good place for you to be because all your cards are in the reverse. It's using old trigger wounds to keep you stuck, and it's limiting your ability to be independent, to think independently. It's really affecting your headspace. Yes, I don't feel like it's a direct thing. I don't feel like someone is saying this, and this to you. I feel like it's almost insidious. It's using a different frequency. It's because this entity that's attached to someone who's dying is desperate for life. And so when you're around that, you're high vibing. So the best thing you can do if you can't leave the situation is to meditate, is to really hone your chakras, to make sure that before you go into work, before you go into that situation, that you are very grounded, that nothing that comes at you can even penetrate your aura, that can penetrate this wall, this create a bubble around yourself, and that it and like have almost a security system around it. So if anything tries to come around it, you do this in a meditative state. Anything tries to come in and interfere with your energy or take from it, that it sets up alarms that immediately like make a fortress around you. Oh, wow, just kidding. I'm so sorry. Wow. Wow. That's I'm so glad you're okay. That's really awful. You're doing a great job. You're doing a great job. I just, yeah, you're moving out of poverty. You were there before you were, and I see you moving out of that. You just have to remember that even when things are really bad, that you actually have control of your fate. Why are you going through this? I know that's not an easy question. I've been in situations and I'm like, oh my gosh, I could totally just look at this situation like the hangman and be like, oh, I'm just trapped. I didn't do anything, but I did certain things. I made choices. I didn't put myself first. I didn't listen to my intuition. I made choices and said, oh, I don't have a choice, when I in fact did. It's just the choice was very uncomfortable. And so what I see with you, um, and have to move into, and I stay and we have to move in 2 months out in my car again. Okay, before you go there, I want you to really meditate. Don't just keep saying you're going to end up in your car again. Imagine what you truly want. Say to the universe very clearly, like you were praying, like, I want a stable home. I want to live in this. I've done everything you want, universe. I've done everything you want, but I need something now. You got to show me the path. You've got to show me that I'm on the right path. You've got to give me sign, a clear sign. But see, even that, oh, I have faith, I won't be. That's not affirmative. What do you want? As long as in your mind, in your energy, is this feeling of that won't happen, it's still there. It still exists. And so instead of being like, I will have this, and there's nothing else, every time it comes back in of I won't, or I can't, or I won't let this happen, restructuring it to I want this, I will have this. And that's not easy. I have been in situations where I'm like, I don't know how this is going to turn out. I'm going to be homeless within And then I started going, hey, 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 no, ask for what you want. Ask for what you need and you will get it. You have to have faith though. You can't have any doubt. The faith isn't conditional. It isn't like, oh, I'm having faith so that something won't happen to me. It's I'm having faith because this will happen to me. I'm not righteous, but it's just I've done both sides. I've done both sides, and I realize that I always get what I'm trying to avoid when I'm in that mindset. It's horrible. I've been in awful situations, things that I'm like, oh, I just don't even want to be here anymore because of it. But then I'm like, okay, I did put myself here. Mm. Great. Just kidding. I'm so glad to hear that. And I'm so glad you're here. And I hope to see you again soon. I hope to see all of you again soon. Yes, ground yourself definitely. Always grounding yourself, always realizing that if you're hearing something from the outside, it's from the outside. It's not within your safe space. If it's doubt, if it's hostility, if it's lack, it's not coming from you. We're not meant to be of lack. We're meant to be of abundance. Okay, gotta go. Okay, it was great to see you guys. I love you guys so much. Please check out the videos, and I will be trying to go live more often and trying to set up personal readings. And I love you guys so much. I will see you soon. Bye.